I'll share the screen and we'll start with the Rambam that we did last week. Here we go. So this again in chapter 9. Let me right? Chapter 9 of Dinah Melachim Umilchamot, chapter 9. So let's go straight to the English. How much the Bnei Noach have to fulfill the commandment to establish laws and courts? And we're going to see that the Ramban has a lot to say about this. They are obligated to set up judges and magistrates in every major city to render judgment concerning these 6 mitzvot. So flag that one too, that he says these 6 mitzvot, to admonish the people regarding their observance. A Noachide who transgresses these 7 mitzvot shall be executed by decapitation. And here's the line that we're going to examine today in the Parashat itself. For this reason, all the inhabitants of Shechem were obligated to die. Shechem kidnapped, they observed and were aware of his deeds, but did not judge him. So that's the Rambam, right? The Rambam on this. And then he finishes up with another difference between the halachas of the Bnei Noach and ours. A Noachide is executed on the basis of testimony of one witness and the verdict of a single judge. No warning. En hatra'ah, there's no warning. Relatives may serve as witnesses, very different. However, a woman may not serve as a witness or judge for them. Now let's go to Parashat Dinah. So this is in Perek Lamed Daled. I want to, for a minute, go to the last 3 verses of the previous thing, but in order to start it, I want to read the first pasuk. It says, Vateitze Dinah, Bat Leah, doesn't say Bat Yaakov. It says, and so Dinah went out, the daughter of Leah, Asher Yalda Yaakov, who was Yaakov's daughter, right? Lirot Bivnota Aretz, to see, to visit, to see the women, the daughters of the land. As you read this pasuk, did Dinah do anything wrong?
Yes.
Okay. Hold that.
Okay, hold it.
Okay. All right. So I'm humbled. I was hoping everyone would jump up and say no. But we will see when we read the Midrash that the Midrash has something to say about this. Jeff, who said yes? Was that you, Jeff?
Yeah, it was me. Yeah, I think
so.
It's
Yeah.
terrible.
So what did Dinah do wrong?
These were foreign women. Obviously, they were Jewish. Why was she visiting the daughters of the land? What was she? My daughter-in-law lives in a sort of a shtetl in Cleveland, and she would never go to any community and go outside her own community.
Okay, good. Hold that thought. Let's go back 3 psukim and just get the context. How did they end up here anyways? So I just go back up to the last 3 psukim, and I wanted, and all of these, today we'll use our method that we use in Breshit. We'll read it together first, and then we'll go to the Mefarshim. Vayavo Yaakov Shalem. So Yaakov came. So I'm going to give a pshat that's different than the translation here. Vayavo Yaakov to Shalem, Ir Shechem. That was the city in the area of Shechem. And why am I doing that? To show you that our experience creates a pshat. 3 miles east of Shechem, today there's a village that's been there for time immemorial called Kfar Salem. So here, having said that, I was just trying to demonstrate the challenge of pshat, which is in the land of Canaan, as he came from Padan Aram. So yeah, but here, how do they translate it? Shalem as in whole. Fine. Jacob arrived safe in the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, having come from Padan Aram, and he encamped before the city. And now what does he do? He buys a chelka, a parcel of land. Vayiken et chelkat hasadeh, where he was. Asher nata sham ohalo miyad bnei Chamor avi Shechem, the children of the kin of Chamor, he says here, the family of Chamor, right? Of Shechem's father, for 100 kisita. Now it says, fine, now he has a place, and this is how he arrived here. Vayatzev sham mizbech, he built an altar, okay? Vayatzev, he set up, it's like a matzeva, a very solid word, Vayatzev sham mizbech, an altar. Now I'm going to ask you, Vayikra lo, and he called it, or did he call him? El Elohei Israel. I'm giving you two choices here. He set up an altar and called it El Elohei Israel. He set up an altar and he called, or he prayed, El Elohei Israel, or the final third version of Pshat that the Rambam really doesn't call Pshat, but calls more of the secret, Vayikra lo, to him. So we'll hold that. But the back story here is they moved, he bought a place, and now that he bought a place, his daughter wants to see, well, where do I live? So this is inside the shtetl. These are her neighbors now. She went to the mall to see, how do people dress? What do they buy? So let's do a point of departure that Dinah did nothing wrong. She went in peace and in friendship and in curiosity to see other women her age or whatever. Now the next verse. We're going from Dinah having innocently gone out there. Vayar ota Shechem ben Chamor hachivi. So Shechem, son of Chamor, right, from the Chivi. So these are the Canaanites, one of the Knaanim. Nisia Aretz. So this is an important family. But what is it now? It says three verbs. Vayikach ota, he took her. Vayishkav ota, he lay with her. Vaye'aneha. All of these words, as we read them, suggest that this is against her will entirely. So we're in the second verse of all of this, and we've established that Shechem is a very bad guy, basically a rapist. He raped her. Now look at the pivot that the psukim make from this Vaye'aneha type guy. Now they use the word vatidbak nafsho b'dina. How do we use the word dveikut? How do we use the dveikut? For us, it's the most
positively.
The most aspirational term that we could use. And all of a sudden, we've pivoted. Thank you, Pesha. Vatidbak nafsho b'dina bat Yaakov vaye'ehav. So he had dveikut, he had love, vaidaber alev hanara, and he spoke to her heart. So he spoke to her tenderly. So there's this enormous pivot for us to understand in the text, in the pshat, and then the midrash, just because of the use of the language, will do miraculous thing with those three words, and we'll see it. But then, so he goes to his father. Vayomer Shechem el Chamor aviv lemor. Kach li et hayalda zot liisha. Get me this, basically yalda, usually, right, a child. To get me this girl as a wife. So he is going to his father and telling his father how much he feels for her. And that would motivate his father.
He's also letting us know she's a girl, she's a child.
Yeah. Now Yaakov, the word got to Yaakov, ki timeh et Dinah. So now Yaakov heard that Dinah was defiled. So timeh or litameh is again a harsh word, a serious and harsh word. That Dinah was abused, that Dinah was defiled, his daughter. Upanav hayu et mikneu basadeh, his children, his sons, were out in the field with his cattle. And so he kept silent from a tactical standpoint, not from a value judgment standpoint, not from, he's trying to figure out what should his response be once he consults with them and once they evaluate with them. Meanwhile, so Yaakov is in a state of mind of obviously stress and anger and defilement and rape. And now Hamor comes to talk to him. And he says, Vayetze Hamor al Vishchem el Yaakov ledaber ito. Uvnei Yaakov, meanwhile, the brothers come back. Uvnei Yaakov, the children of Yaakov come back. Ba'u min hasadeh kishamam, it's like ka'asher shamu, like when they heard. Vayitatzu anashim, they were very, very sad, distressed. Vayichar lehem ma'od, of course, they were upset and angry. Ki nevala asa b'Yisrael. This is a term that we use, we're over here. Nevala asa b'Yisrael, it's a term, an outrage was done in Israel. Lishkavet bat Yaakov, to lie with the daughter, certainly against her wishes, to rape her. V'chen lo ya'aseh. Period. The thing is not to be done. So there's no moral equivocation as we read the text. A bad thing was done to Dinah. A bad thing was done to Dinah. Now the question becomes, though, okay, A, what's our response? Who's the bad guy? Who's responsible? Who's not responsible, right? So right now, if we were just looking at the pshat, there's only one person responsible for this, right? Okay. Vaydaber chamor itam lemor. Shchem beni chashka nafsho bevitchem tnu la ota leisha. So he comes and says to them, Shchem, my son, right? Literally longs, right? Chashka nafsho bevitchem. So up top we had dveikut, ahava, and ledaber al halev, and now we have a fourth term, again, cheshek, chashka being longs, bevitchem, tnu na, polite now, please, na, ota lo liisha. Let it happen. Let him marriage. Let it be proper. Let it be proper. And he expanded it, and we'll just all live together. We'll just right? Vehitchatnu otanu, right? Marry with us. Binotechem titnu lanu vet binotenu tikchu lachem. Right? We'll all marry each other. And you'll live with us. Vatem teshvu v'aretz tiyeh lifnechem shvu uscharua ve'achzu ba. So, I guess let's just keep going. So we'll live among us, and we'll live in peace, and we'll prosper, right? Acquire holdings. Uscharua ve'achzu ba. That's the owning of land too. Achuzah. Vayomer Shchem el avia ve'elachea emtzachen beinechem v'asher tumu elai eten. So this is the person that fell in love with Dinah. This is Shchem himself expressing some desire, and I'll do whatever you want. He's expressing some desire.
Pay.
Yeah, pay whatever you tell me. Right. Harbu alai mo'od mohar umatan ve'etna kasher tumru elai. So mohar was this word that they used for like dowry or bride price. He translated it here, and we'll see it in the Mefarshim too when we get to the Mefarshim. And so whatever it takes, make this happen. So now we have a question. The brothers speak, and we immediately say they speak because they know how distressed their father is. But it says here, "Vayanu bnei Yaakov et Shechem ve'et Chamor aviv b'mirma." It uses the word mirma. So here he used the word guile. So liramot is to trick someone, right? So they're already planning a response. They're planning a response. And so we're going to try to sort out who did the right thing, who did the wrong thing, etc., etc., etc. Vaidaberu, and they spoke to them. But then they're reminding what be right, speaking with guile. Why? Because asher timei Dinah chutam. So a great crime was committed, right, against Dinah. So then I say to them, well, we can't marry each other's until we, make some arrangements here, basically. They're sort of stating some rules. And so now as we've read this our whole lives, they're sort of tricking them into a certain state. But now we want to figure out what was their plan and what ended up happening. ויאמרו עליהם לא נוכל לעשות את הדבר הזה, לתת את אחותנו לאיש אשר לא עורלה. We can't do this plan to give our sister to someone who is uncircumcised. כי חרפה הוא לנו. That's not our custom. It's a disgrace to us because we circumcise ourselves. So if you want to be like us, then you have to circumcise yourselves. Ach bezot neot lachem. So on that condition, we will agree with you, neot lachem, im tiyu kamonu, if you will come like us, right? Vehimol lachem kol zachar, that every male will become circumcised, and then we can do it. We'll give you our daughters, and we'll take your daughters. V'natnu et bnotechem lachem, v'et bnotechem nikach lanu. V'yashavnu itchem v'hayinu le'am echad. We'll be one people. We'll have shared values and shared property and shared customs. Then we'll take our sister, and if you don't listen to us to become circumcised, then we're just going to take our sister and we'll leave. No threats. No, only the threat of we're going to take our sister and leave. And the only one who had forced Dinah was that one person. So it's not clear to us that there's some collective objective, the collective resistance against us, against the children of Yaakov. So they will take, that was just they're stating their full response. So the father and the son agree. It made a lot of sense to them that, right? Shechem was in love with Dinah, and if you have a custom that you only can marry circumcised men, then it seems to us, if we want to live together, that we should adopt your custom. And so the youth lost no time in doing the thing. So he immediately had himself circumcised. And he wanted Yaakov's daughter. And he was the senior, most respected person in his father's home. So now they have to make the case to the rest of the people. So Vayavo Chamor Shechem b'no el shar Iram. Vaidabru el Anshei Ram Lemor. So now they come and speak to all the people. They came to the meeting place, the shar, the gate, right? The public place of their town, and spoke to the townspeople, saying, these, here's the word shalem again that we had earlier. These people are shalem, meaning honest in this, friends with us. They'll live with us. They'll do business with us. There's enough land for all of us, and we'll share families. So there's this high motivation of exchanging much more largely than just Dinah, not just marrying the one family. And then they give the case, At bezot ye'otu lanu ha'anashim leshevet itanu liot le'am echad. V'himo lanu kol zachar kasher hem nimolim. Again, they present that same condition. They only presented us with one condition, that we all adopt their custom of circumcision. And now they talk about the material benefits, right? The pluses of doing this. Their cattle and their substance and all their beasts will be ours, if we only agree to their terms that they will settle among us. So the idea of growth. They listened to them. So they went ahead and they did it. Now, what happens that's right and what happens that's wrong? They were incapacitated on the third day. So now, all of a sudden, not all the brothers, just Shnei Bnei Yaakov, Shimon v'Levi. These were direct brothers of Dinah. They took Ish Charbo v'Yavo Le'ir Betach v'Yargu Kol Zachar, and they killed everyone. Just Shimon and Levi, they killed everyone.
Males.
All the males, thank you. They killed all the males. Vet Chamor, and certainly Vet Shem B'no Hargu Lefi Charev v'Yikhu et Dinah mi Bet Shem v'Yetzeu. Up until this time, Dinah wasn't free, which is also disturbing. Wasn't necessary, right? Vet chamor vet Shem b'no haragu lefi charev v'yikhu et Dinah mibet Shem, and they went out. Right, they came unmolested. Alair betach, because they were the word betach because they were all sick from the circumcision. They were all weak. And that's how they were able to kill them. So, Bnei Yaakov ba'u l'chalalim, and they came upon the dead, the slain. Vayavozu et ha'ir asher timu ad achotam shir. They're trying to really punish the entire town. Asher timu achotam, their sister Devar. Et sonam, vet bekaram, vet chamorehem, they seized their flocks and herds, all that was inside the town and outside. Vet kol chelam, vet kol tapam, vet neshem shavu, vayavozu, vet kol asher babayit. They took everything, their children, their wives, their wealth, all that was that they took as captives and booty. Biza. Vayomer Yaakov el Shimon ve'Levi. So up until now, if all we had read was the Rambam, which we have, so the Rambam had said they were all, what's the word, libel? They were all chayav mitah, and so nobody did anything wrong here. But now, look what Yaakov says. Look what Yaakov says. Vayomer Yaakov el Shimon ve'el Levi. Achartem, that's a tough word again in Hebrew. Ha'ata ze ocher Yisrael. Right? You have brought trouble on me. Achartem oti lahav isheni. Right? To It's like the word make me into like mold or decay into something odious, like the word lahav isheni, v'yoshvei haaretz baknani uvaprizi, v'ani metei mispar. So the whole separate thing, I am few, so you have put me in danger physically. So is Yaakov, so let me finish the pasuk. V'nesfu elai v'ikuni v'nishmadati ani v'eti. You've put us all in physical danger of the neighboring, whatever you want to call them, tribes or nations or whatever you call it, attacking us. So now look at Shimon Velevi. Shimon Velevi don't back down morally. Vayomru hakizona yaset achotenu. Right? So should our sisters be treated like a zona, like a woman that people have sex with, right? Like a prostitute. Okay, so now I want to ask you guys before we go to the Mefarshim. Well, maybe we should do this. Maybe I should shut off the recording, and we'll pick up next week on all the Mefarshim, because we didn't get to the Ramban at all, because I wanted to walk through the whole Parashat with you, and just get your own opinions on some of the questions that I asked, and you can ask, and we can all ask, and just talk about it based on our readings. I'm having some difficulty here. Let's see. There we go. So hang on. I covered the text. That's okay. I want to stop the recording so then we can talk.